Hello, my friends. As you know, we now stand at a critical juncture. Our communities face challenges, and our congregation look to you for guidance and a path forward. Why? Because the Black Church has always been a beacon of hope, a source of empowerment, and a catalyst for change. And in these times, your role is even more vital. This video today is designed to help you, our Black pastors and ministry leaders, with strategies to foster economic resilience within your congregation. We will explore practical steps rooted in our history to empower our people and build a stronger future. These strategies require resources, so we will discuss funding needs and solutions. And I'll provide the famed quick quizzes to help you retain what you've learned. And so I want to ask you, do you feel now is the time to transform your community? If so, keep watching to discover how. Well, I'll tell you, economic empowerment programs and services. Now remember, your church is uniquely positioned to economically empower your community. And let me show you how. The first place I would start would be financial literacy. These could be workshops or counseling on budgeting, debt management, savings, credit repair, and wealth investment. The goal here is to empower financially. Funding may require seeking donations and also partnering with credit unions and banks. Another place that I would look at would be entrepreneurship initiatives. So they would need networking, they would need resources, and they would need mentorships for entrepreneurs. So what you want to do is you want to create economic opportunities and help them launch their own businesses. Funding could come from individuals, from foundations, from microloan programs, and you can also start a church's incubator fund for entrepreneurship. The next thing you might want to look at is job training and career development. That would do resume building and career development with your congregation. And you might want to also look at trade schools and tech schools and colleges. They would have resources where you can partner with them, where you can do things on site as well as on their campuses. Another place you might want to start is community development projects. Now, these are relatively large projects. These are like neighborhood revitalization, building housing for those that are home insecured, food banks, things like that. Now, these require, as I said, significant resources. So these would be individuals as well as grants, government grants, and you can also partner with some banks and development companies as well. These empower providing tools and opportunities to break the cycle of poverty. They also build wealth and create prosperity and independency. Now, these initiatives add to the expenses, making fundraising essential. Now, I know you might be worried about the costs, but we have the solutions. Stay tuned. Here's the first question. What are 3 types of economic empowerment services a church can provide? And 2, where can funding for entrepreneurship initiatives come from? Put your answers in the comments below. Now let's take a deeper dive into financial literacy. It's the foundation of economic empowerment. As I mentioned, financial literacy is the key of economic empowerment. Are you ready to build a financially savvy congregation? So you want to teach budgeting, expense tracking, income management, savings, and goal setting. Consider recruiting volunteers with this expertise. I'd look at Black banks and credit unions. Next, after budgeting and money management, I would start with a workshop on debt reduction, credit repair restore, and predatory lending avoidance. Now, as I mentioned before, I'd probably partner with Black banks and credit unions to help provide resources for this initiative. Next on my list on financial literacy, I'd look at savings and investing. And once again, you can get volunteers and support from Black banks as well as credit unions. Next is financial planning. This would be things like buying a home, saving for your future in terms of 401k or retirement, things like that. And what I would do is I would organize workshops around this. Again, you can lean on your Black banks and local credit unions to support you with resources on this. Financial literacy empowers your congregations to make sound decisions, build wealth, and have a better future. And more importantly, they're less at the shifts and movement of political environment because they're much more insulated with their own wealth and control. Now, some of these programs will require some funding, but not too much. And you can lean on individuals for donations as well as some grants from some small foundations. Now, here's the second quick quiz. Here's the first question. Name 2 key areas to emphasize in financial literacy programs. And number 2, how does financial literacy empower individuals? Leave your answers in the comments below, and I'll try to comment on each one. Next, let's look at entrepreneurship, unleashing economic potential. I'm an entrepreneur, and the church can foster this. Now, are you ready to ignite an entrepreneurship spirit in your community? There's nothing like it. And the first thing that you want to do when you're trying to push this initiative is you want to start with mentorship and coaching. Now, you want to connect your entrepreneurs with experienced business leaders to help guide them, help them develop business plans, and to navigate the challenges that will be in front of them. I have several mentors that I work with and coaches. You can recruit volunteers to help you with this, but you can also partner with your local SBA, that's Small Business Association. Now, I'm not one to promote too much debt, but you do want to have access to capital, and that's your next step in the entrepreneurship initiative. So you're going to want to partner with institutions and organizations that have access to capital via microloans, grants, and as well as crowdfunding. And you also are going to want to establish a microloan fund if your church can do that, or partner with the CDFI. Next, we want to focus on business development resources. So we want to offer workshops and courses on sales, marketing, finance, office space, things like that. Next, we want to provide access to incubators, co-working spaces, and online tools. I would try to partner with schools and other online organizations as well as physical organizations that specialize in these areas. Now, next, under the entrepreneurship initiatives, you want to provide networking and community building. You want to create entrepreneurship connections. That would be idea sharing. You want to create relationships building. You want to create opportunities for entrepreneurs to get together. And this fosters innovation and collaboration. And trust me, I do quite a bit of this, and this really helps me grow my business. I learn ideas. You don't want to have to recreate the wheel, so you don't want them to have to do that. So you want to create opportunities so they can get this information much easier than trial and error. Empowering entrepreneurs does a wealth of things, creates the opportunity for success. It creates the opportunity for creativity. It increases the community services. It's just a powerful thing to do, and it allows people to sort of grow independently, which strengthens your community overall. And I would fund this initiative through individuals, as well as businesses, as well as foundations would support this. Now, here's our third quick quiz. Here's the first question. What are 2 ways churches can support entrepreneurship? And number 2, what does empowering entrepreneurs create? Leave your answers in the comments below. And again, I'll try to respond to each one. Next, under economic empowerment, we'll look at job training and career development. That's opening doors of opportunity. Meaningful employment is essential for economic stability, and the church can connect its members to opportunities and prepares them for success. Now, if you want to break the cycle of unemployment, keep watching. And the first thing you want to do under job training and career development is you want to do a job assessment and career counseling. So you want to be able to provide your congregation with access to job assessment. They want to know where they are. You want to know what they need. Career development. You also want to provide resume building. You also want to provide interview prep, as well as job seeking, how to find those jobs, and then networking, how to find jobs within their network. And how you support this part of the initiative is you want to recruit individuals that have expertise in this, or partner with job training organizations in your local communities. Next, you want to provide job training. Now, you want to partner with training in high demand fields, certificates, apprenticeships, and you want an employment pathway to success. Next, we want to focus on job placement assistance. Next, we want to connect our congregation to employers who are seeking employees, as well as job fairs, as well as online job boards. Now, we want to support them through the application process, as well as the resume building, the interview preparation, as well as the follow-up and the negotiation portion. Now, we can do this by participating in job fairs or having actual job fairs on our facilities. Now, next, we're going to want to be able to provide access to support services, things like transportation, childcare, financial aid for work expenses, things like that. We're going to want to provide a holistic workforce development program or access to it. And we can fund this by partnering with banks, some of the other things we talked about, credit unions, as well as individuals, foundations. Others will support this. By providing job training and career development, you're doing a great service to your community because it just provides stability. It provides long-term support. It just does so many things for individuals because everyone is not an entrepreneur. Most people are employees. And so by providing these services will really push your congregation forward in terms of standing firmer during politically uncertain times. Now, you're probably wondering, how am I going to fund all these programs? Stay tuned. I'm going to talk about how you do that. But next is our fourth quick quiz. So the first question is, name 3 strategies for enhancing job training and career development. And the next question is, how does opening doors empower your community? Leave your answers in the comments below. Now, next, under economic development, we're going to look at community development. Now, the Black church has always been able to transform its community to become more resilient, more ups and downs with the political environment. Stay tuned so we can drill down how we can specifically do it in these times. Now, are you ready to revitalize your community in a significant way, address insecurities, and promote home ownership? Now, these initiatives require significant resources, so you're going to want to partner with individuals, grants, and land trusts. Next, under community development, you want to look at neighborhood revitalization projects. These are looking at improving things like parks, centers, and public spaces. This helps support safety, beautification, and instills pride in the community. You can do smaller things like organizing cleanups, as well as partnering with organizations to improve those parks, public spaces, as well as the centers. Seek grants from the government, as well as foundations and individuals. Next is economic development initiatives. That's basically bringing businesses into the community and opportunities. So you're going to want to partner with your local chamber of commerce. You're going to want to provide workshops, and you're going to want to advocate for the policies and procedures that you want to move forward for your community. And you should explore funding through development agencies. Last but not least, community organizing and advocacy. You're going to want to empower your residents to shape their future and advocate for economic justice and equity. This is the easiest thing to do on here. You're going to want to organize events, drives, and local campaigns. You can seek funding from foundation as well as individuals for these initiatives. Community development creates a just society that we can all believe in and get behind. You can get funding through foundations, individuals, and local governments, as well as community foundations. Now, here is the 5th quick quiz. What are 2 community development strategies churches can use? And the second question, what does community development create? Leave your answers in the comments below. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is sustaining the vision, legacy, leadership, and funding. Leadership guides congregations and shapes communities. We must be visionary, courageous, and commit to economic empowerment for our communities. Are you ready to lead with impact? Let's jump into it. And the first thing we need to do is develop a vision, a strategy planning. We have to develop a clear vision and plan for goals. We have to set objectives, track progress, and adapt strategies. And it has to include a comprehensive fundraising strategy and be transparent about all expenses and income. For a deeper dive in fundraising strategies, check out this video. It's called Prepare, Solicit, Follow Up. Next, we have to look at empowerment capacity building. And so that means we have to empower our members for economic well-being and increase their capacity building. Next, we have to collaborate and partner. So we want to create collaborations and partnerships. We want our congregation to collaborate as well as outside our congregation and within our order. For example, if we are a part of the United Methodist Church, you want to not only contact a local, but also some that are across the country that are doing great work in the areas that you want to be in and develop and learn from. This is so we can build relationships and leverage support from across not only our local, but across the nation, so we can be stronger together on a more wider global sense. The most important thing that you must remember is you have to share what you learn with other Black churches, with what they're doing. We get better when everybody gets better. Don't hold things that can help another church. Share. Lastly, these partnerships are essential for funding. Many of the organizations or individuals will ask you, who are you collaborating with? If you don't have collaborations, you're less likely to get funded. Next is accountability and transparency. You must be accountable to your congregation and your community. Show everything, the money coming in as well as the money going out. When you set these goals, initiatives, you're going to track them. You want to show people how well you're doing or where your challenges are. Be transparent. It's going to help you with your fundraising. You know, our legacy is defined by the lives we transform. Transformation requires funding. Transformation requires resources. You're going to want to secure funding from those that have greater means, those in your congregation that are less affected by economic downturns, as well as foundations, as well as other organizations outside of your congregations. But you still want to ask for support. It's vital because you can't do this alone, and you can't do this with your current resources. You have to increase your capacity to receive more funding, to give your congregation more economic empowerment. That's the only way they're going to survive this type of political uncertainty. And by doing this, you'll leave a legacy that lasts for generations. Now, here's our last quick quiz number 6. First question, what are 3 principles that should guide church leadership? And number 2, how can a church secure funding for these programs? Leave your answers in the comments below, and I'll try to answer as many of them as I can. Ministry leaders, our task is great, but our capacity is greater. Lead with renewed purpose, strengthen commitment, and belief in your communities. Implement these strategies, empower congregations, build community, and be the beacon of hope that you can be. And remember that securing funding is an integral part of this process. Prioritize developing relationships with individuals as well as foundations who are aligned with your mission and have shown a commitment to this type of work. This is your time to shine. Are you ready for the call? Just remember, we are the agents of change. We can build a world that all can thrive. Now, some of you often ask me, where can you find new donors? Well, I did a video on it. It's called Find 200 New Donors in 12 Minutes. Check it out. And I just wanted to thank you for watching the video to the end. This is our time to shine. You can do this.